rock bottle on the track, boy.
Yo, welcome back to the Dynasty Show podcast. Here with you, Jay. As you already know, we got Zach
What up?
and my man Jay Vo from
Ethan is
Brooklyn, son. From Brooklyn.
sadly Ethan is no longer with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too busy. He's got a big life going. He's got big goals, so
But he's still part of the crew.
he's still part of the crew and we're
He'll be making
supporting him.
appearances.
So
Yeah,
go
he'll be
Ethan.
making
Yeah, he'll
appearances.
pop in for guest appearances here and there, but he's no longer a regular on the show.
Yes, sir. All right, today we're gonna go through a couple of things. A little bit of March Madness, baseball, spring training, and NBA playoffs coming up, and then we got a little talk about the little Tyreek Hill trade. But first, guys, let's get into this. Let's get into March Madness, guys. I know Zach, your prediction is gone out the window.
St.
With St.
Peter's, I
Pete,
know.
they're
Yeah,
gone.
they had a good run.
Yeah, but
They had a good run.
I told you by at least 15, North Carolina was going to beat them. They ended up what,
You
20
did.
points?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Now that we're in the final four, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me you guys predictions. Who you guys think is who's going to win it or who's going to be the matchup in the finals?
Javon, you want to go first?
Go ahead, Jay.
North Carolina. That's my prediction.
To win it? North Carolina to win it?
Yeah, I don't see this Duke team. I don't see them have any real colors. They play. Hey, we talked about this earlier. They play well together. They're a well-oiled machine, but I don't see them beating UNC. I think UNC is much more. They're much more. They're better. Individually, they're better.
Better. And let me ask you this. You say they're better. Is that your heart or your head speaking?
That's my head. That's not my heart. It's my heart with St. Peter's.
I mean, I would say North Carolina is probably the second best defensive team remaining in the tournament. So I can definitely see North Carolina going there. Jay, I'm pretty sure I already know who you're taking to win it all, but
But I'm not speaking. Listen, I'm a Dookie. That's my team. I've been a Dookie for life. But I roll with the ACC now. Don't get me wrong. I like the ACC teams. I think the ACC is the strongest conference in NCAA basketball. But I gotta go with Duke, and I'm gonna go with Kansas on the other side. And I got Duke. I got Duke cutting down the nets. I mean, I feel like it's just Coach K's last year. The team is playing very well. He has the team playing very well. This is the best they've played all year. If you actually been watching them, they've been
yeah,
playing.
they have.
They play fast.
Paolo's been playing out of his mind too.
Yeah, and I think I just don't think North Carolina has the score. Is going to be able to keep up with them scoring wise. They have the size, but I don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Duke scoring wise. So I think I got Duke cutting down the nets, man. I got
You
him
got
cutting
Duke
down.
cutting down the nets. All
Yes.
right.
That,
Well,
that defense,
so my heart, for some reason, my heart wants to take Kansas to win it all, but my head is saying Villanova.
Manova. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, well, because I don't know, I just think Villanova's always got a solid team. I really think the winner of that game is coming out of that Kansas Villanova game, one of those two, because Kansas is probably the best remaining defensive team in this tournament.
Mhm.
I would say you could put Villanova or North Carolina second. I would probably put UNC second and Villanova third. But I don't know. It's tough for me. So I got to go with the winner of the Kansas Villanova game. And I would have them. Yeah, I think I agree with you. I would have them playing Duke. I think Duke is too much for North Carolina at this point. I think they match up. I think Duke matches up with North Carolina a lot better than North Carolina matches up with Duke.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting too because this is the first time the two teams have met in the NCAA tournament, and here they are playing in the Final Four. So, and since I need to pick a winner and I can't flip flop, I guess give me Kansas Duke in the final, and I'll take Kansas over Duke.
Okay. So J-Bo, who you got winning it?
Huh?
Who you got winning it?
So I
He
got
said North Carolina.
Carolina?
I got North Carolina.
Okay, so we got Carolina, we got Kansas, and we got Duke. All right. Here we go. All right. So, all right, moving along. All right, guys, as you know, spring MLB spring training has started. You know, I haven't really caught any of the games yet, but I'm gonna ask you guys this. What are you guys' early predictions on the MLB season?
On
Do
the
you want
season.
like do you want
Just,
like the teams that we think will like be
yeah,
playoff
tell me,
teams?
tell me, you guys, who you guys, the teams that you think will be there, and then like and also give me a player who you guys think is gonna be in the MVP hunt.
Okay. 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 Well, since Javon went first last time, I guess I'll take first on this time. I think in the MLB this year, I think the Dodgers are the team to beat. With the addition of Freddie Freeman, Trey Turner, like that lineup from top to bottom is stacked. And if I'm a pitcher, I don't want to face that lineup. Yeah, so I think the Dodgers are the team to beat by a lot. And so I would have to pick them right now as my early World Series favorite. And then I don't know. From there, I like Atlanta and Philly in the East. I think both those two teams. I think the Mets too. I think really three teams are going to contend in the NL East. I think it'll be between Atlanta, Philadelphia, and the Mets. The Phillies can hit. The Phillies definitely added some bats in their lineup. They can hit, and they played well. If Bryce Harper continues to do what Bryce Harper does, yeah, the Phillies are gonna be.
He pitching too though.
Yeah, they have some pitching. No, Nola's good. They got pitching in Philly. So, I mean, it's low key good. So, like I said, obviously, I would go Atlanta, Mets, and then Phillies. But I think the Phillies are in the hunt in that division. And I think they're going to be a serious player in that division all year. Moving to what is it? The NL West. Yeah, I got the Dodgers. I would say the Giants, the usual suspects in that division, Dodgers, Giants, Padres, depending on how they handle the absence of Tatis too. Um, they could also be right there. I mean, Tatis is out for 2 months, so that's a huge loss for them. But they got the depth; they'll be
Three,
fine.
three.
It's three now.
Yeah, it's three. I think that was that. That's what it was all from the beginning was three.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and the Central is always a tough division to call because that's that NL Central is a wild division, so it's always very competitive. But in that division, I got to give the edge to St. Louis this year. I think you got the Cardinals. I think you got the Brewers. That'll be the serious contenders in that division. I really like Cubs are rebuilding. Pirates are the Pirates. Pirates are one of the teams I always wish like I want to see them do good, and I always want to see them succeed, but they just never do.
They didn't do too shabby
Um,
this year.
the Reds kind of show that they're like kind of rebuilding, going more youthful because they traded and let their veterans like leave and didn't resign Winker or Castellanos, so it's a clear that they're out of it, so that really leaves the Brewers. That leaves, the Brewers, the Cardinals. That's about it. So yeah, for that division, and then moving to the AL, who I would have coming out of the AL this year, that's tough because the AL's competitive. There's a lot of good teams in the American League.
Yeah.
So in the AL East, I have it between Toronto, Tampa, New York. I don't think the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox overachieved this this past season. Like they did it great. They did great, but the roster that they had, like
The
they
Boston.
kind of
Yeah.
overachieved with it. And they really didn't do much in this offseason. I mean, Trevor Story, yeah, huge addition to Boston, like shirt up the second base position for the next 6 years, which is a great addition. But we still need pitching. Like Boston lost Erod, So
Yeah.
that's a huge loss. And until they shore up the pitching, I mean, they definitely have potential. Like I said, I think they could be a dark horse, but I really think the three main contenders in that division are Toronto, Tampa, and New York. And then moving to the AL Central, That's a tough division because that's another competitive division as well. Enough tough, gritty division. A lot of those teams, but I think the White Sox are clearly the best team in that division at this point in time. So I guess it's just the teams to put behind them, which is tough because I'd have it between Detroit or the Guardians. I think I'm going to go with the Guardians behind the White Sox this year. And then out in the AL West, I think this is the year the Angels kind of put it all together and make a good run.
Otani.
Yeah, I think Trout stays healthy. I think Otani stays healthy. I think their pitching kind of, stays consistent. They'll make a good run. They'll be a playoff team. So I think you'll see the Angels come out of the West. Could be one of the teams that come out of the West that'll at least be contending for that division all year. I put Houston there too. And then what's the last division in baseball that I'm forgetting? Central, East, West. No, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I would have.
Mr. Brooklyn.
I mean, what can I say? You guys know what's in my pick. Yankees. I want the Yankees all day. The Yankees, they're a strong team. Year in, year out, they're a strong team. Even last year when they started off very bad, they punched up, came back in, pushed through, to end the season. Unfortunately, even do much. But, Yankees are always still a strong team. You can never doubt Eric Judge. Those boys, they love to hit. And when they're hot, they're very hot.
Yeah.
However, like he said, like Zach said, Phillies, man.
Phillies?
Phillies.
Yeah,
They can hit.
Yeah, they can hit, but what do they have for pitching though?
They got Aaron Nola. Oh, they got good pitching. They got Aaron Nola. They got Brogdon. They got Eflin.
They got
Zach.
one.
No, they
one.
got Zach Wheeler. They got Aaron Nola. Now their pitching's pretty
Wheeler,
good.
don't tell me about Wheeler. Wheeler is a disappointment. I will say
Wheeler was a Cy Young candidate this past season. Are you kidding me?
Man, Wheeler's
Wheeler's been great since he's been in Philadelphia. The couple of years he's been in Philly, he's been amazing.
All right, better pitching staff, Braves or Philly?
Obviously the Braves. From top to bottom, the Braves have the better pitching staff, but the Phillies definitely have some quality pitching and have a quality bullpen, and they can hit with it.
J-Bo, we haven't your mic.
On mic?
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
It was kind of low. I couldn't hear what you were saying.
I was saying, like Zach said, the Braves pitching staff is top to bottom better than the Braves.
Oh yeah, we got Charlie. We got Charlie Morton, veteran pitcher.
Yeah.
You can always count on him. We got the youngins, Max Fried. We got Ian Anderson. We actually got two closers if you want to look at it now with Will
Soroka's
Smith,
coming back too.
And so exactly. So I love the way we got our bullpen now. I love our bullpen. I think,
like I said, I think the Braves are going to be the winner of that division, but I think the Phillies are going to be a team that'll shock some people.
Yeah, we getting Ronald back.
Keep them up.
Yeah, we getting Ronald back. So I'm gonna say the Braves in the NL. In the AL, I like the White Sox. I think that's not the White Sox. I like them. That's a quiet sleeper. I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to the White Sox, but I will have to say Boston looks good.
It's tough. Boston does look good.
Boston has good hitting. They might need to get a little bit more starting pitching, but I don't know. I think Boston takes that division this year.
Yeah, I think too. I like Boston. I don't know. Like I said, I would have it going Toronto, Tampa, New York, Boston. But the three, I think Toronto and Tampa are the locks for the top of that division, and I think New York and Boston are going to battle. All three could be playoff teams. You could have three playoff teams out of that division easily.
Yeah.
It all really depends on how the pitching is for Boston this year.
Yeah.
But if I have to go out of the AL for my early AL favorite to go to the World Series, I would go Tampa Bay. So I would go Dodgers, Tampa Bay World Series, and then right now I think. I don't know. That would be a tough one because Dodgers have a great lineup and solid pitching. So does Tampa. But I think I'd still give the edge to the Dodgers again in that. So yeah, and for an MVP, this is a tough one because there's so many great
I mean,
players.
it's only really only one real answer to this question.
In the NL, I'm going Juan Soto. I'm going Juan Soto for the NL MVP this year. I like Juan Soto a lot. I think of the big young three as I consider them, which is Tatis, Acuna, and Soto. I think Soto is quietly the best of the three offensively, but he's just plays for Washington and all that. I like Acuna. I would probably
I was gonna say we must ain't seen what Acuna did last year.
No, I saw it. No, don't get me wrong. But I would say, dude, Soto is just as a hitter. Soto is the best hitter. He can hit for power and contact. Then I would put Acuna probably. I mean, I don't know. Tatis is a good hitter. I like Acuna's game overall more than Tatis's because Acuna is a much better defensive player and he plays an equally difficult position on the field of right field.
Yeah.
And Ronald Acuna is a top 5 defensive player. I don't think I could give Acuna the MVP coming back from a knee injury this year. I think it would be next year that I would give Acuna the MVP. So that's why I give Soto the edge this year. And then in the AL.
The AL is only one person.
Who's that?
Huh?
All right.
Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah. Who else?
You could make a case for Vlad, I guess, but yeah, I feel it's Ohtani.
Who else?
I feel it's Ohtani or Vlad in the AL for MVP again.
I give it. Who you got, J-Bo? I'm gonna ask you before I say what I got to say. Who you got?
I agree with you. I was joking. I just want to see if you guys want to say anybody else. That's it.
Okay, yeah. NL, I can understand what you. Soto, we got to see. But I think honestly I like Pete Alonso more than I like Soto.
For MVP though?
I mean, like I said, maybe not for MVP, but I'm just talking about as far as we're talking about hitting power. Pete Alonso, I like him.
Yeah,
But if we're going MVP,
I like Alonso too, but Soto's a lot better.
But if we're going MVP, I gotta go Acuna. I mean, yeah, I'm a Braves fan, but
no, I get it. I like Acuna. Like I said,
did we not watch this guy? Did we not watch this guy have a breakout season before he got hurt?
Yeah, he's coming off the ACL, and that's why I think next year he's gonna be like. I think next year is when I would pick him for MVP. I think this year he's gonna take a little bit. He's gonna need a little bit to shake the rust off and come back and get a feel for the game, but he'll be fine. Ronald Acuna will be fine.
Yeah, and
AL. His brothers pretty tore up the minors last year too for towards the end of the year.
Yeah, I heard. But yeah, Ohtani in the AL, hands down. I mean, this guy does it all. I mean, we haven't seen somebody since Babe Ruth that just do it all. I mean, this guy got speed. I mean, what he hit for 40 home runs, 100 RBIs, almost 30 stolen bases. I think he had 26. So I mean, that's good.
Not to mention he was pitched,
And I was gonna say, and not to mention
where his pitching numbers? I'll look it up right now.
He's a pretty good pitcher too. I mean, he's not no Kershaw. I mean, but he has the ability.
Yeah, I mean, he was 9-2 last season with a 3.18 ERA.
Yeah,
that's not bad at all as a pitcher.
Exactly. So I say Ohtani hands down. All right, guys. All right. With that being said, before we move into the NBA playoffs, guys, I want to ask y'all this, guys. We're gonna talk about the mandate a little bit. Tell me what you guys think about the mandate first of all, and I want to know who you guys think was the biggest influencers on the mandate being uplifted.
What do you mean from like a sports perspective? Because I think it's the mayor and
I'm talking about as far as sports perspective. Of course, it was the mayor. Of course, it was the mayor. But you also got, you got these sports athletes that these guys are watching and they're in their ear, because like I say, for the Yankees make New York probably more than half of the money that they make, comes from the Yankees. So I'm just saying from the perspective as far as sports, do you think the sports world had an impact of moving that along further? Of pushing it, of pushing it to be done quicker than it was.
Okay, I can see what you're saying. I mean, I think it definitely. I think you definitely can't. I think you definitely have to say it played some part in it, like the sports and the upcoming events, because they know that they want to have, like, the cities know that they want to have them and all that. But I think New York is just going with what the rest of the country's doing and the rest of the places, because a lot of places now are removing mask mandates in public places and all that. So New York was just like one of the last ones to do it and had one of the more steeper ones. And as I understand, there's 10 million people in that city, so they got to keep them protected. But yeah, I think it's good. I definitely think, like, yeah, the sports teams definitely had some effect, because obviously, like, yeah, they want to, those arenas and all that, they want the revenue. How do they get the highest revenue? By putting the best product on the field, the court, etc. Same with that. Same with like concerts and artists and all that. So I understand that. So I get what you're saying with that. Yeah. So I think as a collective, I think it's collectively just a group effort, and to not get like too political with it. Yeah, just think like collectively, it's the group. Like collectively, it's seeing the rest of the cities and towns around them in the nation, understanding that, yeah, we want to have events and people want to have normal lives and all that. So I think an interesting effect that'll be, though, is what happens. This leads into this kind of ties in with our next segment, though, because what happens with, like, if Brooklyn has to go play Toronto in the first round.
And now I was going to ask you about that with the baseball also, because I was hearing you saying Toronto. So what happens if New York has to go to Toronto? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
What happens then? With the players, like, because right now they're saying they're just speculating from as far as what I know about Judge not having the shot, and maybe Rizzo also.
Yeah,
I think they were speculating just because of some of the comments that they have made in some of their interviews. So it's a lot of speculation going on. But just say what if, not having Judge and Rizzo, in that lineup.
That's too much. That's too much to take away from you.
That's tough. That's
yeah,
tough.
it is.
It's very tough. And then I don't know. I just think that I think it was stupid for them to take so long from the get go. I felt like once they lifted the mandate across the country, then I feel like what was New York waiting on? You know what I mean? But I can understand. Like I've been there before. I can understand the population, and they have more people, but still, it's like, okay, you're allowing um unvaccinated players to come into the arena, but and unvaccinated players to play in the arena, but not your own. So I just thought it was kind of crazy from the get-go. So
Yeah,
yeah. But Kyrie's back. With that
yes,
being
sir.
said, Kyrie's back, and that definitely had a big effect on this upcoming NBA playoffs, especially in the East. I want to get you guys' let's start with you, Jay. But I want to get you guys' predictions on what you think what you think the matchups you're gonna see, and
I'm gonna have a little fun with this one.
who do you got who you got coming out, man?
All right, well, I'm gonna start with the West since I'm in East Coast. I'm gonna start with the West. Honestly, I think a big matchup to look for is the Warriors, uh, the Nuggets. I believe they're not supposed to be matchups in the first round. That could change in these coming games, but right now they're matchup against each other. I think that's a very big matchup. We still don't know about Curry, though we're more likely hopeful that he's coming back. Clay, Draymond, they're all going to be there, but I just don't think I still don't see anybody who can stop Nikola. I have yet to see Jokic stop like any of the top teams. Not saying he can't be stopped, but in a playoff setting, 7 games against Jokic without his two best stars, and he's played the way he played and the way he elevates his teammates. I don't know if the Warriors gonna come out that series in a quick series. It's not gonna be a quick series. I can't see it.
So you got Denver coming out the West?
No, I don't have to come up. I'm just saying that first round. That's a matchup to watch.
Okay.
The West, ooh. Honestly, I'm gonna have to give it to the Suns. I'm not a believer. I still don't like the Suns. I never did, but they proved me wrong. This season, they proved me wrong. They lost Chris Paul. They lost Devin Booker. They still won games. That team it's deep and it's a bunch of good players there. Chris Paul, Bridges, they're all just really good ball players. Cameron Payne was a nice backup point when Chris Paul was gone. They're really solid. They're really good. You can't beat that.
I will say the one thing about the Suns, they got good coaching. That helps. Monty Williams, I mean,
great coach.
He has that. To me, any other coach would not have that team number one in the West. I mean, that's just in my opinion. Monty Williams, ever since they had they went undefeated in the bubble. Matter of fact, right? They went undefeated in the bubble. I mean, they didn't have a chance that year, but ever since that, I mean, they've been in the top of the West for 2 years straight now. You know, so and I just think that has to do with a lot with Monty Williams having that team chemistry and playing together. So I got to give him some credit also in that.
Yeah, sure.
Definitely. Who you got coming out the East?
East, now, the East is tough. It's a battle. Every season is a battle. You got the Bucks, the Sixers, the Nets, the Raptors. It just the Bulls. I didn't say the Bulls. The Bulls.
No.
The disrespect.
No.
Too much really good teams.
The disrespect.
Come out the East. It's just one game could change the entire landscape for the East. Just one game. It's crazy. Yo, you asked me to pick. You know me, I'm picking Kevin Durant, the best player in the world.
Okay.
Because even with last year, we saw that game on the line, he hit the shot. Not saying that okay, he was on the line, they lost the game, but he hit the shot. Counter, the man hit the shot. They could have if the bowling could have easily been his side. That's what won that game. But
I got you.
lastly, I still don't see anybody stopping Giannis. I don't.
Giannis?
Yeah, I don't see anybody beating the Bucks.
So you got
great defensive player. They just got back to Lopez. He's looking good. Now they have
Milwaukee. So Milwaukee, you got out the East.
Season. Chris Middleton will be Chris Middleton, and Giannis is unstoppable.
So you got Bucks coming out the East.
I got Bucks coming out the East.
And you live in Brooklyn?
Bucks or Nets? It's Bucks or Nets.
You from Brooklyn?
I'm not putting them over the Nets. If the Nets not making it, it has to be the Bucks, and vice versa.
I'll put it this way. This is what I will say, because I feel like I'm a LeBron fan. I still think LeBron is the best player in the world. I mean, I get Kevin Durant. Don't get me wrong, but I think Brooklyn. I mean, hands down, I don't see a team stopping Kevin Durant and Kyrie in a 7-game series. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. So I got Brooklyn, and I'm gonna stay with my Warriors pick until I find out that Curry is not gonna play.
Well, fun fact about Brooklyn, that's been played on the Celtics in the second round. That's the Celtics. The Bucks in the second round.
If they win,
Raptors, Bucks in the first round, and the winner of that game to play the winner of the Celtics versus Nets.
Yeah. See, I think the Nets will beat
Celtics too.
I think the Nets go through Boston easily.
All right. I gotta shut you both up because
you know why? Hold on. Before you go, Zach, let me tell you why.
Why?
Number one, they don't have Time Lord anymore. He's done. That's
I
a big
understand.
loss.
Oh,
That is a huge loss.
That's a big
That
I
is
get
a
it. I
huge
get
loss.
it.
No,
I
that
get it. But
Andre
still,
Drummond.
yeah, I gotta go with. I still gotta stay pat. I agree with you, Jay, in the West. Until I hear like further that Curry's out further, I'm still staying pat with Golden State in the West. I think they're overall the best team. I think the Suns are good too. I would say it could be one of three teams in the West that come out of the West. It could be Golden State, it could be the Suns, and it could be Memphis. I would say Memphis could do it too because Memphis is a really good team, really solid team as well. Built extremely well,
That's my second choice.
very young. So yeah, I would give it if, like I said, so if Golden State's not there, yeah, I'm probably gonna go with Phoenix or Memphis if Curry's out for an extended period of time and not back for the playoffs. And then in the East, yeah, I just got to give y'all a little slack because y'all completely disrespected the Celtics, who are the number one team in the Eastern Conference, by the way. Number one team in the Eastern Conference. No, it does, but
the net. Let me tell you this: the Nets were number one in the East before Kevin Durant went down. That's all I'm gonna say.
no, the Nets are a good team. Don't get me wrong, the Nets are a good team, but the Nets have flaws. Same with every team has flaws, though. I don't know. I think the Nets. I see their second round loss for the Nets at at the furthest. But I think it really depends on their first round matchup where they finish for the seed because they can still finish as a higher seed than they are right now, which changes their matchup. But I don't see the Nets going all the way. I just don't see it. I don't know. I do like Durant. I do like Kyrie. I can see Boston getting to the East Finals again. Like I said, it depends. It depends on the health of Time Lord if they would come out of the East. But it's not looking good with him. He's going to be out for a while, it seems.
Yeah.
Which means Horford and Theis are going to have to step up, which they can. And Horford's good, so I don't know. We'll see. But I like the Celtics a lot too, because not just because I'm from Boston, but just because they still have a good squad, even without Time Lord out. They still have good fill-ins. They can make a decent run. I could definitely see them go to the East Finals, possibly even coming out of the East. The Heat, I don't know what really happened to the Heat. They were pretty good, but they kind of just like imploded, and their flaws showed.
They need to start Hero.
Yeah, they do. They do need to start Hero. The Cavs, the Cavs too. The Cavs are a dark horse that I kind of have. I don't think this is the year for the Cavs. I think give the Cavs a year, like another year or two, and they'll be a serious contender. But I definitely think the Cavs can make some noise in the playoffs.
J-Bo, I'm sorry, Zach, bring your mic closer. Because you fading away when you lean back. Yeah.
Is it better?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's a little better. But yeah, so I would say probably. Milwaukee's also good at the East. Milwaukee's the defending champs, so I think it's hard to pick against them. But yeah, I would have to go probably. I think I'm going to pick the East final. I'm not going to pick who comes out of the East, but I'm going to pick Boston and Milwaukee for the Eastern Conference final. That's what I'm going to pick the Eastern Conference final matchup to be. One of those two teams is going to come out of the East.
That's going to be the big winner.
One of those two teams will come out of the East. I don't know. It's tough because, like I said, the West depends. Golden State, Sun, Memphis, they're all really good teams. Can all match up all really well against a lot of Eastern Conference teams. So it'll be an interesting playoffs. It'll be fun to watch for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So now that we got through the NBA, there was a big trade that happened. A very big trade. I think this is gonna be career defining for Mr. Mahomes, the Tyreek Hill trade, the Chiefs trading. Huh?
I think his career's already been defined.
And why you say that? Let me ask you that. Why you say that?
He's a one and done.
That's it?
That's it for him. One and done.
One and done?
Who's one and done?
Well, anyway, the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill for what, 3 first-round draft picks?
No, it was a bunch of draft picks. It was one first, like a second, a third. It was a few draft picks, and then it was like 5 picks total, and there was only 1 first in it. But
okay, And all right, so let me get you guys. First of all, let me get you guys your initial thoughts on the trade, and then I want to know how do you guys see it affecting not only Mahomes but the Chiefs in general, chances of, as being a dynasty, as they want to call them, with only one chip.
When I first saw the trade pop up on my phone, I'm like, all I could think of is the Chiefs giving up. That's the first thing that came out. Are they giving up? Because like I said, I don't know what happened. I think this certifies Patrick Mahomes being a one and done Super Bowl quarterback. He could have a chance, depending on what they do with their draft picks. Maybe they have a plan to sign something for somebody really good, or maybe they're going to trade those picks for somebody really good. I don't know. I can't predict the future. So I can tell you now, that trade destroys their offense.
Yeah.
Because as we all know, the Chiefs aren't a run. They're not a run team. They're not a running team. They can't run. They can't run. They can try, but they can't run. Every year they get exposed because the running game is not as powerful. And Patrick Mahomes and the receivers have to save them. So really, personally, I don't think that our receiver have to really change the game for them. They just traded him away, and they still have the running back. So
Yeah. Yeah, because Carlos Hilaire, he's been hurt, but he really hasn't. I mean, he really hasn't done anything as far as you know doing anything for their run game to me, anyway. But
Yeah.
Zach, before you go, my personal thoughts when I first seen it,
Yeah.
I was like the Chiefs are. I was like the Chiefs being the Super Bowl favorites is out of the is done. Like them being picked as the Super Bowl favorites and them having the best odds to win the Super Bowl now is over with. It's over with because he changed to me that type of player with the speed he has and the ability to stretch the defense. That type of player changes the way defensive coordinators game plan because your game plan, you know what I mean. Your game plan is different. Number one, you can't not have two safeties over the top. So
Yeah.
you're playing deep. You know what I'm saying. You're playing deep already. So I mean, the pieces that they added, Scanlon from Green Bay, Juju. I just don't. I see they're trying to stockpile wide receivers, but it still ain't gonna have the effect that Tyreek have. I think Tyreek was 50% of the offense. I mean, I feel like he helped 60. I feel like he helped Mahomes so much that this year, I mean, I don't want to just throw him and knock him already, just knock him already. But to me, he was exposed last year, and he showed last year that he's not invincible like everybody wants to talk about, like the
Yeah.
media wants to talk about. Media wants to talk about he's the GOAT already, the best of all time, and he hasn't even done anything yet. Because there was a lot of throws that I seen the skip throw that he threw trying to throw across the field that didn't even make it. It's like he's missing throws, so he's not invincible like people think. And he really was a big dynamic to that offense. I think Kelsey is not as open as he is with Hill gone. I think I feel like just teams are gonna blitz more now that we don't have to play 80 yards downfield now, so we're gonna they can blitz some more.
what losing Tyreek, the safety's going to have to play up now, not down.
Yeah, yeah,
When safeties play down, when safeties play up, meaning they're playing towards your offense. That means you don't have a deep game. You don't have a long game. There's no throw you can make that's going to scare the safeties. And you're not scared of the safeties,
Yeah.
you're losing that long offense right there.
Yeah. I just think that Mahomes. I just think that feel like Mahomes that he really has to prove this year that that he is the GOAT. But I still got Aaron over him, but that's for another day. But I just think that once again, Tyreek was a big part of that offense, and it's gonna show. It will
All
definitely
right.
show.
All right. So I think let me start off, since you guys started from the Chiefs side, let me start off from the Miami perspective of the deal. I think it's great. It's a great move for the Miami Dolphins. It gives the Miami Dolphins with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Raheem Mostert. It gives the Miami Dolphins the fastest offense in the NFL, and that offense is going to be super dynamic. The things that they'll be able to do with Hill and Watson, it's basically you have two Tyreek Hills in that offense, and that's going to be scary. So yeah, the Dolphins are going to be that offense. So I get why the Dolphins made that trade, because it makes their offense better, even with whoever's throwing the ball. And I think as well as Mahomes, I think this is a prove it year as well for Tua.
Yeah.
So, and I think they're giving Tua every opportunity to succeed. So I think really, if like Tua fails, it's really on Tua, because you have Tyreek Hill, you have Raheem Mostert, you got Jalen Waddle, you have Mike Gesicki, so you have weapons, So I really think it's a prove it year for Tua as well. Now on the other side of the coin for the Chiefs, I understand the deal for the Chiefs, because Tyreek Hill's contract was up at the end of the season. They weren't going to re-sign him. They just didn't have the cap space. He was going to want way too much money, and I get it. So I get why they traded him. They got a first, they got a second first, so that gives them pick 29 and pick 30 this year. See, they got back-to-back first-round picks, and this year, I mean, for what the Kansas City Chiefs need, which is defense and probably maybe another weapon, like another pass catching weapon, this is the perfect draft for them to have 2 first-round picks in, especially late, because there's a lot of good wide receivers in this draft. There's a lot of great defensive talent in this draft. There's also a lot of great offensive linemen in this draft too. But as far as the Chiefs concerned going forward, I don't agree with you guys. I actually think the moves that the Chiefs have made on both sides of the ball, because they brought in Justin Reed on the defense. Yes, they lost Tyrann Mathieu, but they brought in Justin Reed, who, is a tier down, but he's still 25. He's still got a lot of potential. He's still developing. He's going to grow into a great safety, which he already is a good safety. And so I think on that side of the ball, they'll be fine. They definitely made some additions on both sides, but like they got Juju, they have MVS. MVS will be the type of receiver that they'll use to take the top off the field. So he'll kind of fill the Tyreek Hill. Wait, let me finish. He'll take the Tyreek Hill role, and like stretch the field. And then you have Juju, who's the possession receiver, who's going to be short underneath. I agree with you guys that this is a prove it year for Patrick Mahomes as well. Like, I really feel if Patrick Mahomes can go out and win and still be successful with this team, I think absolutely he's good. Yeah, like, don't call him the GOAT yet, but he's definitely good, and he's definitely on a way to being an all-time great. I think if he can prove it with this team, but I don't think this team is as bad as people think. I just think they're going to change. I think from a schematic standpoint, the Chiefs are changing what they're doing. Because they also brought in Ronald Jones, and Ronald Jones has actually been a good back, even playing behind Leonard Fournette. Ronald Jones has been a very efficient running back, been a very good back. I would say Ronald Jones has actually been a better running back than CEH, and with their offensive line.
I agree with
So that gives the Chiefs now a different dynamic in their offense, because they have a better running game than they have had in a while. I would argue that Ronald Jones might be the best running back that they've had since Kareem Hunt. He's not on Kareem Hunt's level when Kareem Hunt was there, but he's certainly a good running back, and he's 24, so he's still young. I like that pickup for them a lot. I think that gives them now a solid running game, at least an adequate enough running game that can make some noise, and that you have to account for as a defense, which then opens things up for Juju and MVS on the outside, and the usual suspect Travis Kelce. So I think the Chiefs, I think we're seeing a shift in what the Chiefs do schematically. It's like what Andy Reid did in Philadelphia. He kind of did the same thing in Philadelphia. He got to the Super Bowl in Philadelphia with a lot less than he had in Kansas City. So we'll see. I also think that, though, they're in the rest of the Chiefs division too got a lot better. All the teams in that division improved in the offseason as well. So it's going to be a very competitive division. I think I could also see the Chiefs being the team that's finishes fourth, that's out of it. But as far as the Chiefs are concerned themselves, though, I just think that we're seeing a schematic shift in what they're doing. I think they're evolving their game. They want to add a different aspect to a different wrinkle. I don't think you're going to see a drop off in play like what you're expecting. Like I think
That's
it's
what
going to be the same. I think it's going to be the same level of production, not as explosive, just different. It's going to be different than what we've seen from the Chiefs team schematically because they're going to be running the ball now. They're going to have Juju. They're going to have a possession-based receiver because I would say Juju is the best wide receiver on that team now. MVS is good, but Juju's a lot better. So Juju is their best wide receiver. Then you got Travis Kelce, who's also the same type, like field stretcher. I don't know. I think it gives them a lot of things to do schematically. I think it actually – in the long term for them will open things up more schematically as they learn more things they can do with that style. But I think for now we're just seeing a shift in the things that they're doing. So I like what they've done. I like the addition of Rojo too. Now, what were you going to ask me?
So as far as Super Bowl aspirations, you think the team that they're putting together now, that they're corporate putting together right now, is better than with Hill?
I think any team is better with Hill. I'm not arguing that they're not a worse. I'm not saying that they're not a better team without Hill. I'm just saying that they're a different team without Hill, and I think they realize that. So they're going.
Okay, let me ask you this: Super Bowl chances though, with this team versus with Hill, do you think it goes up or down?
I think it stays the same. I think they're the same level of contender. I just think it's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be based on how the rest of their division performs because that's gonna be a tough division. You could easily have 4 10-win teams in that division this year. You could very easily have 4 10-win teams in that division, and so that's gonna be, like I said, that's gonna be a very competitive division. I think, like I said, it's all gonna be dependent on what the rest of the league does, but I think their chances stay the same. I think I could see a slight drop in their Super Bowl chances, but they still think they're a contender. They're Kansas City. Andy Reid's a good coach. They got Patrick Mahomes. Like I said, this is also a prove it year for him, but they still got Mahomes. They made improvements. So,
all right, Jay, what you was gonna say? Jay, what you was gonna say? What were you saying?
I was saying Zach. I was telling Zach that's the same answer he said. He said they're going to stay the same. He asked about the Super Bowl chances.
Yeah.
No, I do understand your case. I understand what that you're saying that the team still, because any team, even if they lose a star receiver, let's say you lose a star receiver, you're still going to find you still have other people in place to get those points or get those receives, get those yards that this receiver was giving you before. So I'm not saying they're going to be a bad team. I'm not saying they're still going to be the Chiefs. The Chiefs put the Chiefs out the way, even with all the problems. They still have Patrick Mahomes. They still have all these other guys that makes them the Chiefs, and I think they're going to be clear cut. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're going to be competing.
They're gonna be a playoff team still. Like I said, they're gonna be a competitive team still. It's just gonna be different. It's not gonna be the same explosive Chiefs offense that we've seen. It's also not gonna be a dink and dunk offense that we've seen either. It's gonna probably be more of an intermediate, middle, like it's going to be like a 10-yard plus, like intermediate passing game offense. I think that's what's going to be best. You're going to see, and you'll have they'll use MVS for down the field to take the top off, but they're mainly going to filter the ball to Kelce and Juju on the outside and run the ball with Rojo. Yeah, so I think from a schematic standpoint, it's different. I mean, running the ball is huge, so that'll help them in the playoffs. So I don't know, but yeah, like I said, I see it the same. Maybe a slight drop off in Super Bowl chances.
I can definitely, and I can definitely understand your points. You make good points. But I'm just looking at the rest of that division. I'm looking at how they played last year, and I just like I said, Mahomes gonna have to prove. He's gonna have to show. He's gonna have to show that he's better than Rodgers. He's better than Tom Brady. He's better than all these legends that came before him. He's gonna have to prove it.
I agree with that. I agree with that. And like I said, if he can do that, if he can do that this year, with what they have and show, okay, it's not Tyreek Hill, it's not the product of the weapons around him. He actually
Yeah.
he's good
That's what
himself.
I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to see
if he's like a Mark Bulger, for example.
Yeah,
Mark Bulger.
There you
Mark
go.
Bulger had Torrey Holt, had Isaac Bruce, had Marshall Falk, had all these great weapons, and was a great quarterback. Mechanically was a so great. One of the all-time mechanically sound quarterbacks. But Mark Bulger was, when he had the pieces around him, he was great.
He was great.
But when those pieces left, you kind of started to see the fall off. And Mahomes gonna? This is that year for Mahomes. Like, are we gonna see that? I think I don't know. I think it's gonna, like I said, I think he'll succeed. I think he'll be the same, but I think it's just gonna be different. I don't think it's gonna look like what we're used to with the Chiefs. Like I said, I think it's gonna be different from a schematic standpoint.
All right, guys. So we got a little bit of time. But going back real quick, about Miami, Tua has to prove something too. He has to show something too, because now like you say, he has the weapons now. But me, honestly, watching Tua, I don't think he's a franchise quarterback. I'm sorry. I just watching him, I don't have that feel yet.
I think that remains to be seen, because that's a hypothetical at this point. Like, no one really knows until we see him play on the field with this offense. But I think he has, like I said, I just think Tua, I agree. This is absolutely a prove it year for Tua. This is the make or break it year. This is the year where the Dolphins decide, okay, are we going to keep Tua, or are we going to move on from him and draft another quarterback or try to trade for one, But I think the weapons that they have around him, they're giving him every chance to succeed. And if he fails, it's completely on Tua. I don't know. I mean, it's tough for me because, like, I like chances. I like rooting for the guy. Left-handed quarterbacks are actually statistically more accurate than right-handed quarterbacks in general, which is a weird statistic, but it's something about the way the lefties are able to see the field from the left-handed perspective makes them slightly more accurate in general. So he's already a pretty accurate quarterback. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm intrigued to see how that Miami Dolphins offense is going to be, though, with all that speed, because that offense could be scary. Like, if Tua balls out, just if Tua comes out and is better than he has been, so Tua comes out and throws for 30 touchdowns and 3,500 yards, that's going to be a scary Miami team, Now, if he comes out and throws for 4K and 40 touchdowns, that's even scarier. But I think you can get a solid 3,500 30 TDs from him pretty easy in that offense. I mean, you can easily get 10 touchdowns from Hill. You can get 10 plus from Hill. You can get 10 plus from Waddle. Gesicki's a touchdown hog too. You're going to have Mostert. And they also added Chase Edmonds too.
I was going to say,
who's a good passing down back. So they're
loaded with running backs now. They're loaded with.
No, they're definitely loaded. And Miami always has a good defense. They always play a very difficult defense. I mean, even the Tom Brady himself has said that Miami, every time he's played Miami has always been one of the toughest defenses he's played. And coming from a Patriots fan, he's played some of his worst games against the Miami Dolphins that I've watched him play. So it's true. He's just like what they do schematically, defensively, and they always have a good defense. It's always, it's never a top 5 defense, but it's always solid. It's always top 10, always a solid defense. So, I think I like the deal from both sides. I get it from both sides. I understand Casey wasn't going to sign him with the cap space, and Miami needed the weapons. So,
all right, guys. So we got real quick though, before we end, real quick. Best left-handed quarterback all time.
Who wants to go first? Because I already know the answer to this.
I say Boomer Esiason.
Who?
Boomer Esiason.
That's a pretty good one.
Boomer.
I wasn't expecting that one. That's a pretty good one. What about you, Javon?
That's the only one I know.
Oh yeah.
Mike Vick's a lefty.
Vick.
Ken Stabler was a lefty.
Mark Brunell.
Yeah, Mark Brunell. No, there were a lot of good left-handed quarterbacks, but I'm going to say the best left-handed quarterback is Steve Young.
Young? Okay, that's a good one. That's
I'm going to go with Steve Young as the best left-handed quarterback. So.
All right, guys. That does concludes our show for today. Check us out, guys. We got some new platforms that we're using. Check us out on Apple Music. Check us out on Spotify.
Are
we
we on
got
Discord too?
Discord also. Yeah, we got one of the best editors around.
Yeah,
Marianne. Shout outs to Marianne.
Shout out to Mariana, our editor. She's dope. She
May.
puts this all together. She takes our mess that we record and turns it into this beautiful work of art for you guys to view. So we appreciate it.
Check us out. Subscribe, like, comment. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we can improve on. Any last words, Jerry Bo?
Share this with your friends.
Any final thoughts?
You want to have fun, but we need you guys to have fun.
Yeah.
Share it, like it, whatever you can do with it, just do it.
Yes, sir. We out.
All right.
Rock on the track, boy.